launch your rockets yesterday. Did anybody lose a rocket yesterday? Did everybody recover their rockets?
Oh, no, sir, never.
In this group.
No, in this group.
In this group?
In this group.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we all.
You all got it back?
Mm-hmm.
Well, good. Well, when y'all were launching them, how did you know? Did you figure out? Did you just launch it straight up? Did you figure out to angle it, or how'd you make them come back?
We angled it towards the wind so that it would blow it back towards it.
Angle it toward the wind. The wind, you know, when we first got out there, the wind wasn't a whole lot, but as the day went on, did the wind pick up or slow down?
It picked up.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about the wind. I picked on this lesson because when we flew out of there, we slipped out. And was the wind blowing pretty good when we slipped out? I know y'all were in conference there, but we had a pretty good wind when we got out of there. And so do you think that made any difference how we made our takeoffs? Yeah. So we're taking off. So what I want to talk about today is takeoffs, normal and crosswind. Normal and crosswind takeoffs. So if I have my runway and I'm going to take off, is the wind important when I take off?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's do a perfect world. Let's say the wind is blowing right down the runway. Which way do I take off? Do I take off on this end, or do I take off on this end? 1.5? How come?
So you can get more lift.
Yeah. There's some speeds I'm going to talk about. One is called rotate speed, and the abbreviation is V for velocity, and then R is for rotate. So my rotate speed, we'll call it, I have a rotate speed of 60 knots on my airplane. What that means is, my airplane won't start flying until I get to 60. So when I get to 60, I can pull my nose up, and the wings on my plane say, hey, we're moving 60 knots, so I can fly. Let's say the wind is blowing at 15 knots. Wind's blowing 15 knots. Remember, I've got to have my wings thinking it's 60 knots for the wings to fly. If I'm sitting still, how fast do the wings think it's going?
15 knots.
Yeah, the wings say, we're doing 15 knots, we're happy, hey, we're good. How much faster do I need to roll down the runway before I can rotate?
45.
Yeah, add another 45 ground speed, wings are at 60, we lift off, life is good. So, first step, and let's see, I'm going to put, I know what I want up here. As I roll down the runway, those are rudder pedals, by the way. I don't know if you've ever seen a rudder pedal. These are rudder pedals, that's my big foot. Which foot is that, left or right? Right foot. So as you're rolling down the runway, you want to just kind of hold a little right. We're not actually putting it in, we're just kind of holding it. So as we start our takeoff roll, so we're at the end of the runway. As we start our takeoff roll, The wind's 15 knots, so the wings are happy. Hey, we're at 15 knots, we need to get to 60. And once we get to 60, and then we can do our liftoff. And once we lift off, what do we need to do with our rudders? Any idea? Leave them the same? The tendency of an airplane is always, the prop is spinning one way, and the plane is always wanting to go the other way. The prop's going this way, the plane's going that way. So how do I correct it? Use the right rudder, yeah. So as we lift off, we're going to push in on the right rudder. And that'll make that plane, instead of having a left turning tendency, to kind of go straight. So, come down the runway, we're doing 15 knots, we're rolling, got a little right rudder in, and at what speed do I actually lift off?
60.
Or rotate speed, yeah, 60 knots. So 60 knots, lift off, start flying. There's another number that we want to achieve called best climb rate. And it's, for my airplane, let's call it 95. This is the best climb rate. If I'm going along,
Teachers and students, please pardon this interruption. I need the following students to please head to the Hornet Gym at this time. Bella Evans, Daphne George, Allison Neighbors, Landon Greer, Carlos Manriquez, Julissa Orta, Ramon Reyes, Leslie Smith, Caitlin Smith, Cutler Flowers, and Diego Gonzalez. Thank you.
every airplane has a rotate speed, and every airplane has a best climb rate speed. So if I want to climb as quick as I can over the shortest distance, well, I just need to be flying along at, say, 200 miles an hour, 150 miles an hour. Will I ever climb? No, I need to find a good climb rate. So if I raise the nose up and I'm climbing at 60 knots, you think I'll climb very fast, very high? So every airplane has a climb rate. My airplane's 95. So at 95, this plane is pitched up about 10 or 15 degrees and 95 knots, and it's going to, for the certain distance, it's going to climb the maximum rate for a certain distance at 95. So when we take off, our objective is to rotate at 60 and climb at the best rate of climb, which is 95. So we'll transition, we'll rotate at 60, and then how do we increase our speed? I've got full power. How do we increase the speed of the aircraft? I heard it. Pitch. Pitch up, pitch down. What do you do?
Pitch up.
So if I'm taking off at 60 and I pitch up, does that help my speed? No? Taking off at 60, what do I do? Pitch down. Yeah. Kind of doesn't sound right. You raise the nose up, you're off the ground. I'm at 75. What do I do with the nose?
Bring it down.
Pitch down till I hit what speed? 95. Then as my speed is steadily increasing. I'm still getting faster and faster and faster. But yeah, you rotate, get off the ground, you pitch down to get 95. When you get 95, then you can start pitching back up. And so when we take off, we say you pitch to best climb rate. Pitch either up or down. You know, say I take off or rotate and I come back down, now I'm doing 105, what do I need to do with the nose? Okay, I'm going to say it again. Maybe I didn't say it right. I take off, rotate at 60, and I lower the nose, now I'm doing 105, and I want to pitch to the best climb. What do I need to do?
Pitch up.
Okay, one more time. See, I take off and roll. It's the right answer, it's just not everybody's saying it.
Oh.
I'm doing 105, what do I do?
Pitch up.
Pitch up. All right, we'll make sure we're on the same page. Yeah, you pitch up, it'll slow it down to 95, and you fly at 95. Okay. Yeah, we got it. So we do our roll, we do our takeoff, best climb. And our best climb was 95. Okay, so simple takeoff, normal takeoff. We have our takeoff roll, you come roll down you're holding firm on the right rudder. You lift off at 60. We've already got 15 knots of headwind, so 45 knots of ground speed will be 60, we'll lift off. And then, you put a lot of right rudder in. Your best climb, once we come off the ground, we pitch to best climb rate. We decide whether to pitch up or down if we get 95. Then we climb. Simple, normal takeoff. Everybody good? All right. Now, let's do this again. Oh, one other thing. That airstrip yesterday, what was it made of? Grass, dirt. You think it'd be any difference than when we landed at, say, Lufkin Airport? What's Lufkin Airport? Concrete, asphalt.
Teachers and students, please pardon this interruption. I need the following students to please go to the Hornet Gym at this time. Juan Flores, Adrian Flores, Julian Bledsoe, Samantha Espinal, Alyssa Domini, Kaylee Birch, Madeline Janutris, Joshua Harris, Carson Connor, Ryan Plunk, Caleb Shelton, Jocelyn Peralta, Adrian Sanchez, Hannah Shoemaker, Alex Tremillo, Jacob Trapp, Samuel Young, Brianna Knight, Ireland Womack, Annabelle Tucker, and Peyton Goff. Thank you.
So what are they doing today? So what?
I never got.
I play with you, Joe.
No, so there's like a form you gotta complete athletics, and you get a YouTube.
I thought you did athletics stuff.
Oh, then it's probably yours.
Why would you really breakfast?
Oh, well.
It's not bugs, Keaton.
Well, on yesterday, that strip was a grass strip. Do you think I can still rotate at 60 like I do on concrete? Do you think I still need to get the same speed? Do you think it's any difference? Do I need to go faster or slower on a grass strip? Why? Why?
The friction of the grass is greater than the friction
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
concrete.
yeah.
I was gonna say,
I'm going down there bumping like I'm driving down a dirt road. You know, it's kind of whoa. So,
I thought you guys were kind of bumpy on your.
it's a bumpy road, because if you're on concrete, man, it's nice and slick and smooth, and you just kind of gracefully take off and life is good. This thing's, it's a bumpy road, and if y'all saw the planes take off and land, you know, we're just kind of bouncing around. It's kind of like, whoa, dude. So you think we need to go faster? Say yes. Yeah, you gotta go a little bit faster. So instead of rotating at 60, I really rotated about 75. On a grass strip. Because, you know, it's kind of bumpy. So, depending on the surface, we gotta get a little more speed. So we got a grass strip. What else was different about yesterday? What were the winds doing yesterday? Say it, I heard it.
Yeah, crosswind.
Say it, what was it doing? Crosswind, exactly. Mouth doesn't work over there. Yeah. Yeah, we had a crosswind. You think that has any effect on trying to take off? What's gonna happen to your plane if you're taking off down here and you get off the ground? What happens to your plane? Same thing happened to your rocket, wasn't it? Because and I'm going real slow. When your rocket, when it had lots of power taking off, the wind's blowing, what happened to your rocket? Lots of power, it's straight. It deploys a parachute, just gets real slow. What happens then? The wind takes control of it and starts blowing it. We're sitting still on the runway. You think the wind's affecting us? Yeah, yeah. So we're going slow speed. So as soon as we take off here, the wind's gonna blow us here. So, also when we're sitting still, do we need to be concerned about, well, let me ask you this. You know what? I have my little toy airplane here. I have things on my wing right here. I know what those red things are.
Ailerons.
Who said, what did you say?
Ailerons.
Ailerons. How'd you know that? Y'all studied that or talked about
Yes.
ailerons?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. If I'm sitting still and the wind's blowing this direction, does it matter what position my ailerons are in?
Yeah.
Do they need to be flat? Do they need to be up or down? Or does it even matter? Doesn't matter? What happens if I'm sitting on the ground, they're flat, and the wind's blowing sideways? What's gonna happen to my plane?
We'll go start rolling.
I can do this all day. What's gonna happen to my plane when the wind's blowing sideways? Yeah, it's gonna push it over. How can I keep it from pushing that wing over? Yeah, if I turn that aileron either up or down. Now the big question is, when you turn, which way do you turn that aileron when the wind's blowing? I want to get it to where it'll push the wing down. Right now, if I leave it flat, it's going to do this.
Aileron down. Down.
I got you thinking, so that's all I want to do, get you thinking. The one facing the wind, I want to turn it up. If it's turned up, the wind's going to catch it and push it down. Right? Because if it was turned down, the wind would catch it and would push it up. So which way is the yoke turned? For this illustration, which way is the yoke turned to make this one go up?
To the left.
Do I turn it to the right, or do I turn it to the left?
Left.
All right, I heard the right answer. Do I turn it to the right or turn it to the left?
Left. Left.
To make that one go up. Which way turn?
To the right.
Right. Yeah, so you just turn your yoke into the wind. All right? Now, as I'm taking off and I come off the runway, what's going to happen to my plane with the wind?
We'll go
It's going to blow me over here. How do I correct that? How do I keep my plane? I want to stay going right down the runway.
rudders.
You got my rudder. You got a rudder. So we're over here. Take off roll, keep the same. Lift off, instead of 60, we're going to do about 75. Very good. And we're probably going to need a lot more rudder. Yeah, we are pushing it right, but now we need a lot more right rudder. So that rudder's almost to the floor now. So, and then we're going to take off just like this. So if my wings, if this one's up, that's going to make the airplane do like this. So they go down runway, this wheel will probably come up first. When I come up, everybody's gonna be flying like this. And I hit the right rudder, it's gonna fly like this, and I'm going this way. So what do I need to do with the wings? I need to level the wings, yeah. So I'm taking off, my yoke is sideways, but as I come off the ground, I'm slowly bringing my wings level. And as I'm bringing my wings level, I'm pushing that right rudder. Pushing that right rudder to make it turn more.
Alex and
There's a bee.
We're winning, Riley. Bye.
So is that right?
They walked right in front of the
You walked right in front of the camera.
And then when they told him to get out of the way, he just stood there.
for like a minute.
Wait, we're recording this?
Yes.
My thoughts exactly what? I know we're recording this. Should've wore a tie. So yeah. Crosswind, use a lot of right rudder, get the ailerons up, yokes to the right, a lot of right rudder. As we take off, we turn into the wind with our right rudder, and we level the wings, and we crab all the way down the runway. Yesterday when we took off, y'all didn't see me take off because I slipped out of there, but that's exactly what I did. And I had my passenger with me, and the reason I was going to do this lesson because I really gave him my sight. We took off, and the wind was blowing, and how fast do I need to climb? What's my best climb rate? 95? I rotated at 75, so I got off the ground 75. A gust of wind caught me, so I lowered the nose. I was doing 75, and I was still doing 75 or 80 down the runway. And what was I seeing coming up at me? Yeah, watch out for the trees. Here the trees are coming. And not only that, but I had the plane turned sideways. I was flying sideways down that runway. My passenger was sitting there looking at those trees, and we were going sideways. And he got real quiet and nervous. You blame him?
You cried probably.
So why was I going sideways? Yeah, I was having to crab for the wind. And why did I lower my nose? Yeah, I didn't have my best climb rate. So I got off the ground. I started going down the runway, sideways at 75, going level, and the trees are coming up. At what point do I climb over the trees?
Whenever they're 10 feet away from you.
Huh?
Whenever they're 10 feet away from you.
Yeah, with 10 feet away? It's a good idea. I'm watching my speed. It's all about speed.
What do you assume?
And my guy sitting with me, he's like, oh my gosh. And I'm just loving this, I'm loving it. So we're going along there and I'm watching my speed, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95. Now what?
Pull up.
Pop the nose up, jump over the tree.
Oh no.
I don't need to be recording this anyway. So that was kind of my fun flight yesterday. So tell me about y'all's rockets. Did y'all shoot them more than once, or you recover them? They do what you expected? Who had the big one? Did you have the?
expected mine to crash and burn, so.
You crash and burn?
No, I expected it to crash
Oh.
and burn. It didn't,
Held together?
surprisingly.